Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Marketing Crack. Today I'm going to be talking to you about communicating with your designer. So, when you're communicating with your designer, it's really important that you communicate in a way that you're going to get the best out of the project and they're going to feel like they're giving you their best work. So, point number one would be make sure you give them a clear brief. Outline your requirements, why you're doing what you're doing, what the basis for this is, and what outcomes you expect, what the goals are for your project. Think about the things that you like and that your audience likes, because let's face it, the designer's going to turn around and say to you, it's all about what your audience likes, what your customer likes, but at the end of the day, if you don't like it, it's not going to sit comfortably with you, so there needs to be a balance. Equally, think about the things that you don't like and the things that your audience doesn't like, and communicate all of that into your designer with the brief. So when you sit down, in the first instance, the kick-off meeting, present the brief, talk about those things, get that across. The next thing is make sure they've got some creative freedom. So are they able to do the best design work that they can? Is there an option for them to kind of do something that you're not expecting? So maybe they're going to present you 3 concepts. Expect concepts 1 and 2 to be very tightly aligned to the brief in your discussions, and maybe the 3rd concept is going to be a little bit more out there, a little bit more creative in terms of how the designer feels about how they're working on it, but they should be able to relate that back to the brief and communicate through that. The next one, always ask questions. So if you're not sure why they've done something or why they're going in a certain direction or where an idea has come from, ask. They'll be happy to tell you, and it'll give you confidence in what's been going on with the project and also what their thinking is. And you might be able to feed that back into your customers or your team and see what they think about it. It might mean that a better idea comes forward. Equally, always give constructive feedback. So talk to them about the areas you like, the things you really like about their work, but don't be afraid to point out the bits you don't like too, because there's nothing worse than somebody feeding back, oh, I don't like this, and the designer says why, and you can't communicate that reason. So if you can get across some constructive feedback, love this, love this, love this, not sure about this bit, then the designer knows to go away and focus on the areas that you did like and work that into the areas that you didn't like, and you'll come to a good outcome. And finally, think about mutual respect for your profession. So if someone comes to you to talk to you about your business and they want to buy your time or your product or your service, how would you expect them to talk to you? Think about that when you're talking to the designer too. Nothing worse for a designer, someone rings up, could you just Photoshop this? Could you just change this image? And actually, what they're doing there is they're using their expertise and maybe years of experience to sort that out for you, and you're treating it perhaps like it's just a tiny little tweak. So think about that from a professional standpoint, think about that from a mutual respect standpoint, and you'll end up getting the most out of your designer. If you want any more tips on getting your design done, talking to your designers, come and have a chat with Joel at CodeBreak. I'd love to speak to you.